Shalom. Hope you can hear me. Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakodash. And I'm going to entitle this video, Vocab Malone Paints with a Broad Brush. And I'm going to give you the definition if you don't know what that means. Anyway, this is his latest video, and he's got a lot of views too. Let's look at the title, Israelite. Israelite. What comes to mind? What's when you think of Israelite? BHI, Black Hebrew Israelite, Radical Hebrew Israelite, as the Southern Poverty Law Center puts that label on all the Israelites. Well, they separate the like the New Testament, the Old Testament only Israelites, non-Messianic, as they call it, Messianic, meaning that Messianic Hebrews are Hebrews that believe that the Messiah came. So we would be classified, the former One Westers would be classified as Messianic Hebrews or Messianic Israelites. Remember, the small hats are Hebrews as well. The small hats are Semitic as well. But we are Hebrews and we are Semitic. The difference between us and the small hats is the differences are, well, the main difference is we come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The small hats come from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. They are the Edomites. They're clearly the Edomites. And I'm going to go into, if I have, I'll go into it. Maybe I'll do it on another video. Maybe I'll do it later in the middle of this video. The last video Vocab Malone does is, let me open another tab here. Bear me for a minute. Just want to get my bearings straight. Okay. Let me go to this last video. Okay. All right. I'm on what's called a keto diet. I could do a video on that. Somebody asked me, what do you eat on a keto diet? It's not what you eat, it's what you don't eat. Anyway. Okay, let me go to vocab. Vocab Malone. Okay, so this is the last video that he did. And let me go to that, and then I'll come back to the main this video here. You see that? Hebrew Israelite kills Indiana cop. So the first thing that pops in your head is really the One Westers, because we put up so many videos. You know, when the average Edomite out there or anybody out there, if you go up to them and you say, well, what comes to your mind when you hear about the Israelites or the Black Hebrew Israelites, BHI? They'll mention things that One Westers did, because we're visible. We're out there. We're in the streets. We're on the corners. We're all over the YouTube. Now you have other groups, non-Messianic Hebrews, that are more low key. So of course Hebrew Israelite kills Indiana cop, you're saying, well, who did it? Did Zakari do it? Because they, they roll around, you know, with with bows and arrows. You know what I mean by bows and arrows? Could it be ISUPK because they go to the shooting range? Could it be the IUIC because uh, Bishop Nathaniel is a cop? And they say there's a lot of cops in there. Could it be One West? I doubt. I mean, could it be GMS? Oh, I doubt it's GMS. No, but it could be because you got a lot of crazies in GMS. So that's what you think about. But anyway, let's do this. Let's do this. This is Jonah, Jesus, Paul versus One West. High doctrine, HI doctrine. And I want to go to, by the way, all the 95% of this guy's, like before a video pops up, Vocab Malone's video, it's always a video with some Islamic, this is an Islamic guy, see, for Muslim men. I would protest that. What if I put on a loud advertisement on my videos? Before you watch my videos, you got to watch a commercial, and it's about a witch coven or how to be an atheist. I would say, no, I don't want them commercials on there. I want some level of control. But like I said, 95+% of the videos that Vocab puts up, you're going to get this commercial dealing with Islam. Is he a crypto Islamic? Is Mohammedan? Okay, so this clown, and these are old videos, by the way. This is, I don't know, he might have did this in 2019 because it breaks up. You can't hear the sound. Anyway, let me come over here. Bear with me for a minute. Do you see? That's why the Egyptians would have said, hey, we can't really think anymore. Even the God and the law of the light, and yet do you see? We never put a magic tricks. There was powerful wisdom. Egyptians were okay, so let's start from here. 10. We're at the 10-minute, 51-second mark, and I'll leave it to y'all to do videos on this if you want. That's up to you. No big deal. But I wanted to deal with Caleb, which is of the tribe of Judah. He's saying that Caleb is an actual Edomite. Now, when we first encountered Vocab Malone back in 2016, he focused on my page. Me and him went back and forth because I believe he did a video or made a statement that, or he said it to me on my, my comment section of one of my videos back in 2016, that Caleb is actually an Edomite because he said that he's a descendant of the Kenez or the Kenezite. So I did a video showing that, yes, there is a Edomite named Kenez or Kenez, but there's also a Judite named Kenez. And I showed him that. And I showed him the scriptures and all that, but he's still running with it. Show you that he's nothing but a damn devil. Any scholar, matter of fact, let me do this. I'm sorry, let me do this. I believe that's Numbers 13. Let me do it this way. Numbers Bear with me for a minute. Waiting for it to come up. Okay, Numbers 13. Numbers 13 and 1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Send out men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Yashar'allah, of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one, a ruler among them. So this is the Most High speaking to Moses. So would not the Most High know whether any of the spies are Edomites? And Moses, by the commandment of the Lord Yahweh, sent them from the wilderness. Oh, by the way, Deuteronomy 28 and 68, when Moses said, by the way, wherever I speak unto you, thou shalt see it no more again. He'll say, well, it's talking about Egypt. You're not going to go to Egypt no more. No, it's talking about the wilderness. Israel never went back to the wilderness of Zin. It says wilderness of Paran. Paran, all those men were heads of the children of Israel. Of the children of Israel, sons of Israel. The word children of Israel in the Hebrew is Ban Yasha'Allah. Ban Yasha'Allah Yam. Children, sons of Israel. Not children, sons. And these are the names of the tribes of Reuben, Shamua, the son of Zikar, which he's from the tribe of Reuben. The tribe of Simeon. So this Simeon, Shaphat, which he's an Israelite. He happens to be of the tribe of, he's not an Ishmaelite. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb. Now, mind you that the Lord went to Moses and said, look, get the heads of the tribe. So there's 12 of them that they're going to spy out the land. So Caleb was one of the heads of Judah. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. So this clown says, oh, Caleb was an Edomite. And he kind of, it tells you that, let me go to it. So it shows you this guy's a damn demon. And he uses dirty tactics. Let me come over here. Okay, let me let you listen. I hope you can hear this. And then we'll go back into the main subject.
There's people who could be in Israel, right? They say they all died in the wilderness. Let's just say that's true. Why were they leaving with them anyway? It seems like Moses would be like, wait a minute. Now, you know what's interesting the way it works? Caleb, if you ever look up Caleb, he's very important. How many spies went out? How many came back? Who had a good report? Caleb and Joshua. Joshua didn't have any parents, the son of Nun, right? It's a joke, it's a joke. He's the son of Nun.
A corny joke.
Oh, that's not what that means, right? But Caleb, the kid.
That joke is about prolific as your rapping skills.
Kenizzites. That's not an Israelite. And you read about the Kenizzites, you realize Caleb was a non-Israelite, not an Israelite, right? But Caleb, the Kenizzites, son of Nun, that's not what that means, right? But Caleb, the Kenizzites, that's not an Israelite, right? Nun, right? It's a joke. It's a joke. He's the son of Nun. That's not what that means, right? But Caleb, the Kenizzites, that's not an Israelite. And you read about the Kenizzites, you realize Caleb was a non-Israelite, and yet he was other faithful. But then later on in the Bible, it talks about him being part of Judah. What that means is, because it even mentions that, you kind of, if you're sort of adopted in as a proselyte who becomes part of Israel, you got to go somewhere. That's what that means. But Caleb is in that. In Jesus' genealogy, Luke brings out that has non-Israelite women in it. It wasn't just Ruth, it was others. Do you see? This is not some new thing we're inventing or that Paul invented. This was the plan from the beginning.
You hear all that bullshit, right? And that's why, look, that's why I go to the commentary just to see what they say. It says of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, right? Of Jephunneh, right? Whose younger brother, Caleb's younger brother is Othniel. So let's go to Cambridge. You notice they ain't say nothing. It says Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Actually, he was the son of, I just went through it. I believe Jephunneh was his grandfather, great-grandfather. But it gives you his actual father's name. I'm not going to go into it, but let's do this. Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, Numbers 32, verse 12. Okay, that's the pulpit. He is called the Kenizzite. Kenaz is, yes, you have a Duke, the Edomites, the dukes that came out of Edom. One of them was called, named Duke Kenaz. That's correct. But in the genealogy of Judah is a Kenaz or Kenizzite. It's just like Smith. There's more than one. A person can't say, well, my last name is Smith, so therefore you can't be a Smith. There's more than one Smith out there. It's a common name. Yahweh Shai's name was somewhat of a common name. Joshua, Hosea, even in the Apocrypha, there's a man named Yahweh Shai or Joshua, or as they say in English, which doesn't make any sense, Jesus. It says which appears in Genesis 15 and 19 as a name of one of the ancient races inhabiting the promised land. It is possible that Jephunneh may have been connected by descent or otherwise with this race. It is more likely that the similarity of names was accidental. The younger son of Jephunneh, the father of Othniel. Othniel is the brother of Caleb. And by the way, that's a whole nother topic. Caleb said, if you, what did he say? If you can bring the head of the enemy, I forget the whole story in detail. The first one that brings the head of the enemy or the foreskins of the enemy, whatever, you get my daughter. So it was Othniel that came and said, "Yep, I did it," and he had to give him his daughter to wife, which was, guess what? Her niece, his niece, was a Kenaz, and so was Caleb's grandfather, which I believe that's Jephunneh, is his grandfather. See Joshua 15:17, First Chronicles 4, verse 13. That's when I go to. Kenaz was also an Edomite name. Kenaz was so they're right. The pulpit commentary is right. They're telling you that there was also an Edomite by the name of Kenaz. So this fucking clown. Let me go here. I'm dealing with the real scholars, not this fake scholar, this fake phony scholar. It says, Ellicott's commentary for English readers, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which was his grandfather or great grandfather, because I'm going to show you that. I'm going to prove that to you that Jephunneh is not the actual father of Caleb. This is Othniel, right? And this devil knows he's going off because I corrected him back in 2016. Okay, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Okay, this is right here. Judges 1 verse 13. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. Now Kenaz was the father of Caleb and Othniel. But in other places it says Jephunneh, which I believe was his grandfather. Caleb's younger brother took it and he gave him Shall, his daughter, to wife, which was that woman. The daughter was capture of other cities. Let me go over here. And from thence he went against the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Ker Jeff. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. And Caleb said, "He that smiteth Ker Jeth Saphar and taketh it," well, it was a city, "to him will I give Ashah my daughter." Mind you, Caleb and Othniel were brothers, the sons of Kenaz. Kenaz wasn't the Edomite. There's two. There was an Edomite named Kenaz, and that's also in the scriptures, but this is a different Kenaz. See, and if you're not studied in the scriptures, see, that's why these dumb, monkey-minded Christians follow a vocab. It says, and Othniel, the son of Othniel, the brother of Caleb, the younger brother of Caleb, the son of Kenaz. But when you look up Caleb, it says he's the son of Jephunneh. No, he's a grandson. The actual father of Othniel and Caleb is Kenaz. Caleb's younger brother took the city, and he gave him Achsah, his daughter, to wife. So what did that make? What did that make? Who was Achsah's in relation to Caleb's brother Othniel? That was Othniel's niece. Is there a law against getting with your niece? The daughter of your brother. That's your niece. There's no law against that. There's no law against that. You know? So I don't got to read anymore, but Kenaz, right? And Othniel, the son of Kenaz. Let's look up the word Kenaz. Kenaz is mentioned 11 times in 11 verses. Okay, Genesis 36, when you start in the first verses about Esau, the Edomites, Mount Seir, and so forth, that was one of the sons of Esau, Kenaz. All right? It says here, Esau, Duke Teman, Duke this, Duke Kenez, right? Duke Kenez, Edomites. Joshua 15, verse 17, and Othniel, the son of Kenez, the brother of Caleb, took it and he gave him Achsah, his daughter to wife, which is Othniel's niece. Judges 1 verse 13. Othniel, the son of Kenez. Othniel is who? The brother of Caleb, right? So who's the father of Caleb? Kenez. Kenez wasn't the Edomite. Caleb's younger brother took it and gave, we already read that. Judges 3 verse 9. And when the children of Yasha'Allah cried unto Yahweh, the Most High raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenez, Caleb's younger brother. So he became a deliverer, a mighty man, a chief, just as his older brother Caleb was. These are Judites, you dumbass. That's a t-shirt right there. And the land had rest 40 years, and Othniel, the son of Kenez, died. The sons of Eliphaz, Teman, that's an Edomite. Kenez is an Edomite, Duke Kenez. So there was two different Kenez. And this is what happens when you don't study, when you don't, get all your facts together. Okay, so this is you notice that's in First Chronicles 1 verse 53, talking about the Edomite Kenez, Duke Kenez. Now in First Chronicles 4 verse 13, and the sons of Kenez, Othniel and Sarai, and the sons of Othniel, Hathes, I'm not even going to try to say it, 15 verse, and the sons of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. No, he was the son of Kenez. Jephunneh had to be his grandfather. How many times did we read that Othniel was the son of Kenez, which was the younger brother of Caleb, Elah, and Nam, and the sons of Elah, even Kenez. Now let me do this. So we're not in First Chronicles 1, where it speaks about Kenez the Edomite. We're in First Chronicles 4, where it speaks, let me find it. Line of her, Asher, which are Judites. Okay, the sons of Judah, Pharez, Hazron, Carmi, and Hur, and Shubal, and Ra'iah, the son of Shobal, begat Johath, and Jonath begat Homai, and Lahab. Remember Lahab? These are the families of the Zarotites, which are Judites. Because it says here, the sons of Judah. The sons of Judah, right? Let me jump down. So we know it's talking about the sons of Judah. So let me try this. Okay, I don't want Kenneth. I don't want Kenneth. I want let me try it this way. Caleb. Okay, now mind you, Caleb is mentioned in the First Chronicles 4, verse 15. The sons of Caleb, the sons of Jephunneh, which is he's a grandfather. Iru, Allah, and Nam, and the sons of Elah, even Kenez. Kenez is the father of uh, Caleb, and the sons of Kenez, Othniel. So if Othniel is son of Kenez, how can Caleb be the son of Jephunneh? Jephunneh had to be his grandfather because Othniel is the brother of Caleb. Okay, so now let's come back to this. I hopefully that I broke it down. So this guy's a clown, doesn't study. So anyway, we're over here. If you see this right, it says Israelite barber commits police homicide in India, and you know this devil had to jump on it. Vocab had to jump on it because he wants to make the Israelites look bad. Oh, by the way, I said I was going to look up the term paint with a broad brush. Definition: the phrase paint something with a broad brush means to describe something in general terms without mentioning specific details and without paying attention to individual variations. Now, we don't know what happened with the police officer. Only the Most High, the angels, the Most High knows, the invisible world knows. And the man that shot the cop, allegedly, he knows. Whether it was a self-defense thing, whether he just wanted to kill it. They said he shot the cop through the window. We don't know what that was all about because he's not going to tell. Okay, so it says paint with a broad brush, idioms by the Free Dictionary to describe or characterize something in very general, vague, or broad terms, ignoring or neglecting to include specific details. Now, I give credit to Vocab. I'll give that devil some credit because he does say, where is this at? Right around here. Let me come back a little bit. And by the way, what did I say? I put out an order. Nobody is to have dreadlocks and long hair if you're a man, if you're a part of GMS. And I'm going to say it again, and this time I'm going to put teeth on it. Any of you brothers that got these crazy haircuts, you might have cornrows that are short, all right? But you got this crazy looking hair. This is a crazy person. If you seen a motherfucker walking around and back in 1950s in New York City with this hairstyle, you would deem him as a crazy person. But so many of you boneheaded Negroes, and even you got them Latin tribes doing it with the dreadlocks. If somebody was to wear shit-stained panties on their face, and enough people do it, guess what? You Negroes would do the same thing. Let's deal with the pants sagging off your ass. Where'd that come from? That come from the prison system, because if you ever been in the prison system, and I like to say, you Israelites are all in the prison. Nope. If you ever been in the prison system, they take your shoelaces off and they take your belt off. Why? Because so you don't hang yourself. So guess what? You be walking around with your pants sagging off your ass, so you got to keep pulling your pants up. So somehow, so you have so many Jakes in the prison system that come back into the world, and they used to not wearing the fucking belt. So they got their pants sagging. So you had other niggas that's not in the prison system that's stupid as fucking hell, man. That's why the Most High got to kill a lot of you Jakes. You ain't gonna get it. And you got some camps that go out and see a nigga with dreadlocks looking crazy as hell, with that 1,000-yard stare in his eye, with his pants hanging up out off his ass, with tattoos all over his face, all over your body. And you're gonna talk to him and try to get him to come. No. He's not gonna make it. That nigga ain't gonna make it, man. He ain't gonna make it. He's not one of the elect. Because if he was one of the elect, here it comes. Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ryan Blob. Here it comes. Because if he was of the elect, he wouldn't mutilate himself with those ugly, stupid tattoos. The ultimate inside joke. Now you're cracking up. If you know who said that, he wouldn't mutilate himself with them ugly, stupid tattoos. You're good. So look at this guy. The man's already guilty. As soon as they bring this man out looking like this, he's already guilty in the eyes of the jury. He's already guilty. There's a good all-American boy. And you know they're gonna show them. There's gonna be an open and shut case, pretty much. He might as well say, "Yep, I did it. Lock me up. Throw away the key." All right. But anyway, any of you brothers with this, and I went through the scriptures, so don't play fucking stupid. And we need a house clean, all right? And more of you from GMS will fall off. Some of you get kicked out. Some of you get disenchanted, and some of you niggas up and GMS is gonna take that a charagma. And you might not even tell us. So we might have to walk around with a scanner to scan your fucking head and your right hand to see if you got it. Some of you weak. And we had one guy, not part of our camp, but we were cool with that camp. This one guy was an actual sodomite. He was an actual sodomite that would come to camp, and then he'd be on his smartphone, texting back and forth. And he's texting back and forth with a dude that he's gonna meet later that night. You got some strange people among our people, man. So anyway, you got to watch this from the beginning. I hadn't watched all this, but this is what I caught. Now this demon right here, this fathead demon, he's hoping like hell it's one of the one Westers. He's hoping it's Sakari. He's hoping it's ISUPK. Why do I say Sakari and ISUPK? Because ISUPK go to the gun range. Sakari, they'll come out at the different camps. There's one camp, or at least one I saw. The guy had a 9 on his chest, and he had there was 2 of them actually, and they were like looked like bookends. They had I don't know if they had long guns, rifles. I don't know if they were AR-15s, M16s, or whatever. We don't teach that. Scriptures say, "Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove." So it says Israelite barber commits police homicide in Indiana. Let me bring it back a little bit more. Because this is where his power is. Anything somebody does, if they went to a camp, some guy kills up a bunch of people. He stood out at one of the camps. He might have asked a question. He might have passed by the camp. If this demon right here could get information, he'll say he was a Hebrew Israelite. How do I know? Hey, look at him. He's in the crowd. Esau's in the crowd too. Does that make them Israelites? So let's let you listen.
They are not able to conclusively tell how many times he was actually shot, because it's pretty serious. Let me read here the description. because it was pretty serious. To conclusively tell, due to the nature, 36 rounds, at least, well, 36. He actually,
Now, I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. But if this guy, oh, you see that? He's the insider. He's the insider. I put this sign up at it. I went to court. I was in a serious charge in court, and I put this. Somebody said put this hand sign up. I put it up in front of the judge. The judge threw out the case. He said, "I know this guy. He didn't do nothing wrong. Case dismissed." He's an Edomite judge because the police system is based upon what the Mason. I believe the Scott is right. That's why they give you the third degree. That's why police wear blue. They're good to have a thing called a blue wall of silence. If they know one cop is guilty, they have information to it. They act like they don't know because it's based upon, I believe the Scott is right, Masons. So you see that hand gesture. See, we see everything. We're not ignorant to Satan's devices. First thing we see is that sign right there. And like if he came in my car, I said, this guy's a racist. He a racist. He got the glasses, he got the high and tight. Now I don't know, maybe this guy, oh, damn, this dude was loaded up, man. Homeboy was loaded up. Like I said, I don't know the back. He could have been a cool cop. Could have been one of the cool ones. He could have got involved in something with this. He could have been doing something, whatever. We don't know. We don't know if they ever bring the record out on this guy. I mean, how was he in the community? How was he among Jake? Was he fair with all people? We don't know that. We don't know that. But he looks like he's part of that, that whole blue thing. If he sees one police officer does something illegal, plant drugs on somebody, he sees it, he's not going to say nothing. But we don't know. We don't know. He could have been a Jake. He could have been Irish. We don't know. So anyway, but we know he was an insider. Just like Vocab is. Remember, he threw up the monoconoto. Anyway, so let's listen. And then Vocab is going to be honest. He's going to tell the truth about this guy with the dreadlocks looking crazy as hell. And the reason why he says that, because he knows that we're going to check the whole thing out. We're going to do the fact check, and then we're going to say, wait a minute. He wasn't a part of any of the One Westers. So let's listen. Let's listen. He doesn't want to get Alex Jones. All right. He doesn't want us to have the Perry Mason moment. So he says it. So let's listen.
He had not exited his vehicle yet. He was shot 36 times.
Why not 37? Why not 42? Why not 28? 36. Let that number marinate in your mind. 36. 36. 3 and a 6. We don't know what's going to happen with this whole thing. 36. That's a lot of rounds right there. It's a lot of projectiles. But 36, like I said, we don't know. Let's listen on.
At least, well, let me be specific. 36 rounds were fired from the weapon. Due to the nature of the injuries, they are not able to conclusively tell how many times he was actually shot because it's pretty serious. Let me read here the description. This is a Hebrew Israelite barber, and his real name is Carl Roy Webb Ward II, but his Hebrew name is Dauda Yahudah. Right?
Right there, we know that he's not a one Wester. That's that. That's that other. Um, that's that non-messianic Hebrew, Old Testament only Hebrew, and it's going to tell you. He's going to tell you that. See, you got to look at this. You got to approach this thing like you're a lawyer, like a prosecuting, uh, persecuting, prosecuting, pretty much the same thing. Prosecuting attorney with this thing. You got to get all the facts together. This is why he said what he's going to say. Let me bring that back. See, I got my lawyer cap on because I've been watching the Alex Jones the trial, and this guy, the guy with the beard, the guy looked like Esau and shit. Got the red beard, the chubby lawyer. You know, he was tearing into Alex, and then he caught him. He said, "I caught you in a lie." You gotta watch. You gotta watch the clips of the trial. Yo, and I said that guy said, "Yo, this dude had the videos from Alex Jones talking shit from like shit 10 years ago. He's let's bring up this video and let's bring up that video. You know? So let's listen, which by the way was unconstitutional. I don't know how the hell the attorney for Jones accidentally gave the phone records to this thing. It's obvious a mistake, and that goes against the Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendment at least. Okay, so that could be thrown out and appeal. Definitely, Alex Jones is going to appeal that whole thing. It's going to be a while before they get their money, but let's see what happens. Okay, so let's go back to this. Please forgive me for running my mouth.
Yahudah. And you're going to see some videos.
That's not a one West Hebrew. I'll say it that way. That's not one Yahudah, whatever. We say Yahudah.
Later. He killed first-year officer Noah Shabazz during a traffic stop in Elwood, Indiana on Sunday, July 31st, 2022. 36 rifle casings were found at the scene. Shabazz sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the head, which they said perforated his head. Several to the torso. Authorities could not determine how many times he had been shot because the wounds were so severe. The officers given the student closer responding officers found him. This is a description that I put derived from various news sources. And I'm going to get to a question real quick here because it's relevant. Maslow asks, is he one West? One West is a...
What did I say? See, the first thing that's going to pop in your head when they say, when you go to this, as a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Yeah, we got the spiritual steak knives on you. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a coming YouTube video. So you better make sure you get your facts together, Vocab Malone. Let me come over here. Let me come over here. Okay, so this is it right here. Hebrew Israelite kills Indiana cop. Now, he just said that it was a traffic cop, a traffic stop, but he got shot. The officer got shot in his car. That's what he's going to say, if I'm not mistaken. Well, wait a minute. If he's got the guy, he pulled the guy over, he goes to the car, he's going to allow the guy to come out and just bust him up like that? And where your backup? You know where I got that from? Where's your backup? That ain't no warrant. Blast them fools. Inside joke. We all know what that was about. Training day. Anyway, let's listen to some more. By the way, this guy is a young guy. Look to be about maybe in his early 20s. First year, he was a rookie. What business does this guy have being out there by himself as a rookie? Huh? So let's come back a little bit. The facts, ma'am, only the facts. Remember the TV series Dragnet. This is before a lot of y'all's time. Dragnet.
This is a description that I quote derived from various news sources. I'm going to get to a question real quick here because it's relevant. Mazo asks, "Is he one West? One West?"
So this is why he titled. Let me come back. I'm sorry. Let me come back. Hebrew Israelite kills Indiana cop. First thing pop in your mind is the one Westers. Why? Because we're out there. So let's come back.
West is a notoriously militant section of the Hebrew Israelites, and
let's look up the word militant. Militant.
Here's the definition of militant. Combative and aggressive in support of a political or social cause, and typically favoring extreme, violent, or confrontational methods.
Doesn't fit GMS. We just speak the truth. Look up militant or militants in Wiktionary, the free dictionary. Wikiquote has quotations related to militant. The English word militant is both an adjective and a noun, and it's generally used to mean vigorously active, combative, and or aggressive, especially in support of a cause, as in militant reformers. So you see the images there, right? Let's go to the images. This is a real militant right here. This is a militant. When you think of militant, you think of guys with guns. Look at that. Guys with guns. Guys with guns. This is militant. You see some guys with long robes with fringes on it reading out the scriptures. That's not militant. This is militant. Extreme militant. Every militant. Military come from the word military. That's where you get the word military. Martial, warlike, militant. And these people right here that you see, these people have a warlike demon on them. They have a warlike, they love war. They love war. They had this one special on years ago. HBO, I believe it was this, what is that called? A Desert Storm back in like the early 90s. And they had one guy that got injured badly. There's an Edomite dude, looked like an Edomite. And they were working on him. And then he said he wanted to go back out there. And he said, no, you're going to get the purple medal. You can't fight no more. And he started crying. He said, I can't fight no more. Because they got the spirit of war in them. And that's why Esau was able to take over, because the Most High put the spirit of war in him. Remember, the Most High is the father of the spirits. He puts the spirit of war on you. At one time, them weak-ass Elamites, Persians, they had the spirit of war on them, man. They were fierce. So the Most High took the spirit off of them, and the Most High got it on Esau. Esau is an expert and master of war. those Israelis, the Israeli Defense Forces, those military people over there, they got a spirit of war on them, man. Most I can pull that spirit off of you and put it on you. I remember as a young man, I got into different fights out there in the street, and I remember where I said, I don't want to go to jail. I'll just block. I'll hold a guy down or whatever. But there was other people that I fought that I wanted to kick their fucking head off, literally, because the Most High put the spirit on me. What did the Most High do to David? He taught his fingers to fight and his hands to war, right? The Most High put a fierce warrior spirit on King David and Saul, and the mighty men, the 37 mighty men, and Samson. So militant meaning somebody with a gun. This guy's an ultimate. This is militant. This is militant. You can't get no more militant than this. And they black Africans, man. Oh boy. So we are not militant. We are not militant. Scripture say, "Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove." In the same verse, it says, "We are sheep in the midst of wolves." So where do you ever see a sheep or a dove walking around, with firearms on them? So let's come back. Let's come back.
They speak pretty vicious rhetoric often. But the answer is no. He was not one West. He was non-messianic. Sometimes they say Old Testament only or Tanakh only, but
that's pretty much what it means. When you say non-messianic, that means you don't believe in the New Testament.
Not exactly precise to describe the group he was affiliated with, because they're not Karaite Jews. They still hold to Talmud and Zohar.
Okay, so if this guy holds to Talmud said you can rape a little, like an infant, a toddler. That's what the Talmud said. Now they might take this video off of me saying that, because who controls the YT? The small hats.
And kind of a mystical understanding of the rabbinical strand of this particular group that he was involved with. So he is not one West. The investigators,
Vocab didn't want to say it, but he had to say it because we would have got the facts together and we would have said, look, this guy's not one West. The truth didn't come out of any of these groups. The truth came out of one West. And you wish you could actually say this was a one West guy.
So they spoke with the man. So they pulled up to the place of business that Carl had. Carl was a barber. They pulled up there, and right when they pulled up, there's a man who was clean, a black male, and I have his name. I'm not going to give out his name, but I do have his name because it was given in the news. And I've made contact with him. But they spoke to this man, and he rented an upstairs apartment where Board ran the barbershop. And he said that Boards had discussed being a member of the Hebrew Israelites with him. That makes sense because the witness is also a black man. So he discussed this with him. Then
well, there's 12 plus 13 million plus black African Americans that associate themselves with Hebrew Israelite or Hebrew Israelism, as you call it. So of course, Snoop Dogg put a clip from the IUIC marching, so he associates with the Hebrew Israelites. Kendrick Lamar, one of the top rappers out there, he did a song on it like, "Don't call me black no more, call me an Israelite," or "I'm an Israelite." So, anybody can say they're Israelite, just like anybody can say that they're Christian.
Warrant was enacted, and inside the place there were documents that were consistent with the philosophy of Hebrew Israelism. So this man was a Hebrew Israelite. It was only in
Old Testament, Talmudic studying, meaning you can rape toddlers. All right.
one line of these stories. We're going to go deep. Now, it's not exactly clear why he did this, but I'm going to show you that he's done this kind of thing before. But the same man that the investigators spoke with on location there at the barbershop site said Boards have recorded a song, quote, making statements that if he ever got caught by police, he would kill them. The Boards is in custody, and I do have the name of the group was affiliated with. Share in a second, but first I want to show you this man did the same thing back in 2006. Now, back in 2006, he didn't kill a person, but he did shoot at them. So let me show you this.
So if he went throughout the system because he shot somebody, why is he back out? Huh? What is that precept? Give me a second here. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. If I can spell this right, slack. Let's see if this comes up. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, give me a second. I believe it's in Micah. If I can get the wording right, I can find it. I just can't get the wording right. Let me try this. Mike, it might be Micah. It might be Micah 3. Let's try this. Bear with me for a minute. Let me put it in law first. No, I don't want that. Okay. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Let me do this. Okay. Okay, I can't find it. I can't even think of the wording. But let's come back over here.
This is really wild that he did this back in 2006 as well. This is the same man.
Okay. So he shot somebody up, didn't kill the person, but shot at the person. Went through the system, was convicted, but he's back out. That's why you have so much crime in this system.
Oh, wait, yeah. So to clarify, we're talking about a police officer who was murdered by a Hebrew Israelite in Elwood, Indiana. And what I'm going to show you right now is a video from 2006 in which the suspect who was in custody actually shot
By the way, if this guy was a Christian, would he make this video? Absolutely not. If he was a Muslim, would he make this video? Absolutely not. If he was an atheist, would he make this video? Absolutely not. But because, you know, he's an Israelite, he's gonna do the video because he's gonna, you know, what I open up with using a broad brush. So let's listen on.
A police chase back then, and then basically right after he got out, started the barbershop business, then did the thing again. So watch this.
He fired 6 to 7 rounds of gunfire.
From the interior of the vehicle, looking at his windows at the officer.
The bullet struck the patrol car in the front plate and grill, but the officer was not hurt and continued on. From 38th and Cold Spring.
Wait a minute. Did he shoot an officer and he's out? They don't give a fuck about you police. There's something fishy going on here, man. They let him out knowing what he's capable of, and he does it again. But this time he kills an officer.
Down to 30th and back up White River Parkway, officers were able to stop the suspect at Kessler and 38th on the bridge over I-65. Lieutenant Mark LaGuardia performed.
Now that was him back in 2006. You got to understand, this is 15 years ago. So when I was looking at this, I was trying to ascertain if those were fringes.
Are they fringes? No, are they fringes? He doesn't even look like the same guy. He looks different. He looks different. He has the dreadlocks. He looks different. Says 1852. Let me come back over here. That could be him. Looks different though. I mean, normally police, you know, you put your hands up, walk backwards, and they shoot you anyway. This guy shoots up a police officer and they take him out, not a scratch on him. Come on, man. We don't know what's really going on.
It is not clear, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I have a theory about this that would entail that I do not believe he has fringes on. So my theory is that when he did this back in 2006, he was not part of the Hebrew Israelites. And my theory is documented. I'm going to explain to you why. Because I have photos of him essentially back then looking like he was involved with some kind of church going. But that's to be expected because his parents are ministers.
What did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? His parents, not his father, not his mother, but both parents are ministers of Christianity, whatever franchise of Christianity you want to, you know, call it. We don't know. And this is what happens. When you come out of that cult known as Christianity, you're bugged out. So he came into the truth, not the truth, because he doesn't have the truth. He's an Old Testament Hebrew. He was looking for something. He was looking for something, man. If he was living in Philadelphia, guess what? He would have become Islamic. Or Newark, New Jersey. New Jersey and Philadelphia, those are Islamic states for Islam. And so it's hard to get across to them Jakes, right? But he was a Christian. He was a Christian. Come on, let's listen on.
So that doesn't necessarily mean he was involved, but he was friendly towards the Christian religion back then, it appears. And this is my understanding of the timeline. So this part that I'm telling you is theoretical. But I do not believe he was a Hebrew Israelite back in 2006 when he did this. But let me play the rest of this.
Officers were able to stop the suspect at Kessler and 38th on the bridge over I-65. Lieutenant Mark LaGuardia performed the pit maneuver using his car to bump the rear corner of the Suburban.
Because their car's spinning, you have to drive around. And it's a very controlled thing, and normally there's no damage done to the cars.
It's the same technique officers used last week to end a high-speed pursuit on the city's south side.
Normally don't put people into walls and things. but he was shooting the police officers. I actually wanted to hit him a little bit harder than we normally would to jar him, just like it did, so he couldn't come out shooting at us. So we got him stopped. And after once jarred him, probably knocked his guns loose, and the officers were able to run up the cover real fast.
Police found 2 weapons inside the SUV, an AK-47 assault rifle and a pistol. Police believe the suspect used a smaller handgun during the chase.
Did a fine job in order to stop this individual.
This is what Christianity does to you. It makes you gun-toting, firing at everything that moves. So he did this in the spirit of Christianity, Vocab Malone. So it has nothing to do with whether he became an Israelite that made him do it. He did it before, and you said that. You said that. You said that. I don't believe he was a Christian. I don't see no fringes on him. I'm trying to see if there's. Let me do a tight shot and see if I can get some. Let me get one fringe. I'll be happy with one fringe. He was a Christian, so this was a Christian act. This is a Christian act. So him being an Israelite didn't make him a gun-toting mass shooter. He was a mass shooter before he became an Israelite. He was a mass shooter when both his parents were ministers. They were both together. They were obviously black. They were both together. So he raised up in a good, decent Christian household. And what happened? I'm blaming it on Christianity, man. I'm blaming it on Christianity. So let's listen to a little bit more.
Done our job protecting the service citizens, and thank God we don't have anyone.
Tests will determine if drugs or alcohol were involved.
He looks drugged up. He looks all messy. He looks like he's out of it, man.
Lindsay Clutter, Channel 13, Eyewitness.
And those crazy ass heathenistic dreadlocks, they don't help. I'm gonna say this again. If any man and even a woman that's following GMS, you better cut them damn locks off. That crazy look. This triggers Edomite officers. They look at you as a wild animal that escaped from the woods. Any of you brothers that have this long hair, and I'm deputizing all you brothers, you leaders, you lead. Okay? And that's not my job to look and see, oh, let me check this guy. Let me check this camp. We got an honor system right here. How many of you brothers that came into this truth that were diligent, that went back into the world, that fell off? Got a lot of demons among us.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to reiterate here.
Police say 28
Trying to reiterate here.
Can't speak about him. He's a white man. He's all right. Can't speak about him. He's a good Christian white man.
This video that I just showed you was back in 2006, okay? So the video I just showed you is from 2006. This is not the time that he murdered the police officer, okay? Let's look at Dawara Shamayawan, ISUPK, North Carolina. Ma'am, what are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Wow.
Okay, ISUPK. Wow. America's has many assets, including Habib, the Ethiopian. You folks better watch out. All you AP and AR lovers. And this is a woman, as the ISUPK. Couldn't be GMS a woman because they couldn't do that. They can't do that.
America's has many assets, including Habib the Ethiopian. You folks better watch out. All you AP and AR lovers, CCL, COP. Does anyone know what she is saying? I don't know what you're saying, but look how Hebrew Israelites be. Look how they be, right? Okay, now what I have on the screen is the affidavit of probable cause. This is a PDF document, and I need to show you some very important things on it. I hope that you can read it here. Try to make it as big as I can here. Let me see. The UPKers. You guys are crazy. I'm not even, he's not even a one. Okay, we got the wacky Hebrew. Like, he don't look black. This is a hoax. Can you guys, can you read it there? Can you read that? I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger here. Make sure you can read this. This is important, what I'm about to show you. This is okay. I think that'll do. I think that'll do. This information you're not really gonna get anywhere else. Oh yeah, okay, we got the wacky. He don't look black. This is a hoax, ma'am. If you stick around instead of getting on your jump to conclusions mat, which honestly is fueled by ignorance and incredulity and delusional characteristics that you possess, probably granted to you by your false religion that you embrace, and you
See, he blames everything on the Israelite. You got a crazy person. Before they become an Israelite, they're still a crazy person. They decide to be a Christian, they're still a crazy person. This guy shot up a police officer back in 2006 while he was a Christian. So it wasn't Hebrew Israelism that made him shoot up the second cop. He was a crazy motherfucker from the word go. So how if you become an Israelite, you're gonna shoot people? No, you're gonna kill people because you're bugged out in the mind, or whatever for whatever reason. Let's listen to some more. I'll give you a couple of precepts.
okay, you will see that he is black because I have pictures with his whole family. I'm just gonna show you right now. Okay, these folks are crazy. The UPKers, you guys are crazy. He's not even
Because there's one woman, which she would be out of order. If she was GMS, we would get you. Look, that woman ain't GMS. That's a crazy woman that's using, the acronym GMS. But he uses a broad brush to say all the UPKs, meaning the ISUPK, they're all crazy. No, they ain't all crazy.
one Western, okay? So you're saying it's a hoax. Let me show you. That's him. You're telling me he's not black? And it's not even about him being black. Besides, you believe that Native Americans and Hispanics would be Israelites, so what are you talking about? That's him. Ostensibly with his girl that he FaceTimed when he was running from the cops. Now it looks like most likely the man has children. This is a tragic situation. This is Carl. Okay? This is him. Look at how he's dressed. And again, this proves my point, what I'm saying. He was part of a non-messianic group or congregation. Still a Hebrew Israelite. This is still someone who embraces Hebrew Israelism. Let me show you a few more pictures here. This is him as well. Fishing. Hallelujah. That is a hallmark of how the non-One West, non-Messianic type Hebrew Israelites speak. I've studied this long enough, and I know. And if you've been around, you know that too. I know it sounds odd, but listen, everybody. When you hear somebody go hallelujah, like I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making a joke. This is a very serious show. The hallelujah with that emphasis, that is a calling card. That is a calling card of a non-messianic Hebrew Israelite. And so here he is fishing, right? And he's got the hallelujah. He writes it that way. That's not the only thing. This is a screenshot from his Facebook. Now you got me away from the affidavit, Deborah. I'm going to go back to it. But this is Carl Webb II's screenshot. Now again, he's clearly not a One West guy. Most One Westers would not have the Israeli flag. Now they may have the Shield of David.
So they're following. That is the Israeli flag, the official of the state of Israel flag. So he's following the small hats.
I know you guys like to debate about that, but he would not have that. And you can also tell.
And just for the record, we here at GMS, we don't deal with this star right here. This is the star of Molech, ring fan. So it has nothing to do with King David. King David never wore this.
You can also tell that by the way he's dressed, this is very non-messianic. Bishan, listen up. She said he doesn't look black. And she said this is a hoax. You're going to get timed out because you dare to call someone a racist and you don't know what's going on. Time Bishan out. If he says anything else like that, he will be gone. Let's keep Deborah around, though, because we need this kind of foil to show the attitude of the One Westers towards this. I'm going to get to these in a little bit here.
Now, she appears to be an Edomite. This is definitely not One West. You got the hat, which Yeshua used to call it the Dick Tracy hat that the small hats wear. So they obviously following the small hats. Moses didn't walk around wearing these Dick Tracy hats. I call them Dick Tracy hats. Got that from High Priest Yeshua, one of the seven. Moses, Abraham, Yahushua. Oh, it tells you in the Apocrypha, they made them wear a hat. Could this be the hat? Could it be the yarmulke? It doesn't tell you. That's in the book of Maccabees. So these they have absolutely nothing to do with any of the One Westers.
Let me see here. How do I bring this to them? Oh, yeah. We're going to wait on those. So I'm going to show those later. Now we're going to go back to the affidavit, the probable cause. I'm going to go back to those. Here we are. Officers prior, during a police chase in 2006, and now they're back out again. I don't think they should have access to AK-47s. Probably not any weapons. I mean, really? So they spoke with his father and mother. You guys see that? Look at number 11. Stippling Dr. Bob, thank you, I appreciate this, who is a pathologist, indicates a medium range gunshot. Oh, that makes sense because remember, he walked up to him after.
The officer was not properly trained. He should have had a backup. Where's your backup? He should have had backup. He was a rookie. According to what Vocab says, this guy was a rookie. No way in the hell, I've been stopped many times. The police ask for your information to go back to the car, and they're behind you. They're behind you. In other words, they don't come in front of you. They're behind you. So when they're checking your status, if you're not suspended, insurance is okay, registration is okay, 3 documents they ask for. And normally what happens with me is they let me go. They said you kind of went to that stop sign, you kind of came to rolling stop, be careful in the future, you have a nice day. Because the first thing I do when I see an officer, I refer to them as officer. And they immediately refer to me as sir. So so he's relaxed. I'm sitting in the car, not making no, and you know, if the guy hasn't come out, hasn't come out the car in order to confront the officer. That's when the officer comes out, pulls out his 9 Glock, whatever he has, and so he said, "Where you going to stay in the car?" He makes a step, blah, blah, blah. There's a video, and I was going to do a video on it, of this Jake that robbed the store. And I believe he has a gun in his hand or cell phone or whatever, but they call it a robbery. I believe it's in New Jersey. And the guy comes out and they got cops, and the cops are well trained. Okay, give props to those police officers. They had the gun. It was a couple of them. It was a Jake and a couple of Edomites. They had the gun. They kept telling them, put the cell phone down, get on the floor. He kept walking towards him. He kept doing what he wanted to do. And then it looked like he reached for something and they opened up. You can't charge them police officers. They were there talking to the guy for a good, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. If I find a video, I'll bring it up. So a lot of you Jakes are bugged out in your fucking head, man. You know?
Discharge of power that causes burns. Okay. You guys see that? That's the evidence of how he walked up closer. Because remember, he fired some shots from farther away, and then he came close and shot them.
Now, if all this is true, if all of this is factual, the family of this officer should sue that particular jurisdiction for not. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I got to go to the manual book and all that. But see, I'm thinking like a lawyer. You got to think like a lawyer. Deal with all the facts, all the details.
Okay, appreciate that. Now look at this. Look at number 11. Detective Brad Tugger spoke with Carl Roy Webb, Ward's second mother and father, on July 31st, 2022. According to his family, Mr. Ward II did contact him through FaceTime while he was fleeing law enforcement, so he calls his parents. Detective Tucker also spoke with Mr. Ward's second girlfriend, Edwina Nicole Stewart, where he learned that Mr. Ward also spoke with her through FaceTime while he was fleeing law enforcement. Here's the key thing. Through investigation, detectives have learned that Mr. Carl Roy Webb Ward II owns a barber shop business at 525 South Washington Street, Marion, Indiana, Grant County. Detectives stopped out at the business located on the northeast of Washington and 6th Street. The building faces west and is a 2-story commercial structure with red brick veneer in the bottom half of the building and light green siding on the top half. The business has 2 gold lions positioned outside the front entrance of the building, as well as a red, white, and blue barber pole attached to the front. The front window display.
And I guarantee you, he was doing lineups, all kind of crazy, wacky hairstyles, which is against and his clientele, his customers, were mostly Jake. I don't think it was a bunch of Edomites going up in there. So he was breaking the law as being an Israelite. You know, so, you know, anyway, let's, you know what, Webb's Cut Care. Let me look up Webb's Cut Care. Webb's Cut Care. Okay, this is do this. Webb's Cut Care. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It was put up 8 months ago. This is him, the guy that's accused of cutting. And you can see he's lining the guy up. He's got a short haircut. So he gives you what you want. You want a high top fade. You want to be lined up. So here he is. He's servicing another Israelite. It's just like he might as well own a butcher shop and sell pork and shrimp. So he wasn't in order. No fringes. This was as of 2021. type of music playing in the background. So his clientele with Jake, all Jake, pretty much all Jake. See the man's lined up and everything. Let me jump. You can clearly see he got touched up. He's lined up. So is he, well, Vocab explained it. He wasn't a one Western. He has dreadlocks on, meaning he's not in the New Testament, doesn't follow the teachings of Paul. So, they most likely would take this down. Let me do this. Okay, give me a second here. He's wearing a suit with a tie. Now we know, he wasn't a prophet. You know what I mean by that. So let's come back. Please forgive me for being so long, but I got my lawyer cap on.
Red's cut cap of phone number, written in such a way that it is readable from the outside. The phone station that Carl Roy Webb wrote. Some Hebrew Israelite says, "Oh, they're trying to paint us with a broad brush." The news never even mentioned it. You only found it in articles. And in fact, even this video, which is the closest I could find, they don't mention it here. Watch this video.
But you mention it.
New details are emerging about the on-duty death of Elwood police officer 24-year-old Noah Chavez.
We will focus on Officer Chavez's story and how he has touched multiple communities in just minutes. But we begin with the man accused of gunning down Officer Chavez. 42-year-old Carl Roy Webb Boards II is charged with murder, among other charges.
According to court documents, Boards allegedly fired 36 shots at the officer during a traffic stop in Elwood in the early hours of Sunday morning. The probable cause affidavit reveals Officer Chavez died after being shot multiple times in the head and across the body. The documents show the officer's gun was still in his holster and his body still in his patrol car when he was found. Ford was eventually arrested at Fisher's following a chase through much of Hamilton County. WRTV's Nikki Deventry joins us live tonight from Madison County.
And Nikki, you were there as Ford's made his first court appearance today.
This guy right here, he's gonna definitely take the charagma. He's in the system. Do or die.
What's the latest on this case at this hour?
Yeah, that first court appearance happened just around 3:30 this afternoon. Behind me at the Madison County Court now, Fords appeared virtually from Hamilton County Jail, where he remains tonight. As you mentioned, he is facing 4 felony counts, including murder. Now, prosecutors are seeking a maximum sentence of life without parole, but that death penalty, well, it's not off the table. Prosecutors say they may revisit it later down the road. Tonight, we're learning more about what led up to and after that shooting early Sunday morning in the 7-page court document. Prosecutors allege Ford shot into Chavez's police cruiser 36 times during a traffic stop, and the officer didn't have a chance to get out of his unit. Now, Chavez said Ford's had a gun.
The officer wasn't well trained, or he was just slacking. Ain't no way if I was an officer on, a single officer, no backup, I'm gonna be checking his shit, his information, his data, and I'll be watching. As soon as that door opens up, I'm dropping all the paperwork. I'm dropping the license, the registration, the insurance card. I'm bolting out of my car, not with the taser, but with my what do you call it? My Glock. My official officer issued Glock 9 or whatever. And I would say, get back in the car, sir. If he kept calling, blam, 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 blam. One more step, blam, inside joke. So what's going on here?
His last radio dispatch communication, Wards was arrested a short time later in Hamilton County. Officers found a fully loaded high-power assault rifle in the front seat of Wards' car, as well as a handgun on Wards. Now, documents also revealed the 42-year-old FaceTimed his family while on the run from law enforcement. One of the search warrants was executed on his Marion barbershop, where a high-capacity magazine was recovered. Now, Madison County Prosecutor Rodney Cummings spoke after the initial hearing today.
There's no way to describe the pain that the law enforcement community, citizens, community are facing based upon this loss. It's indescribable. It's something we know that we face every single day. I was a police officer in Emerson for 15 years myself. We all know this is a possibility. But no one, this is not, so we've had 7 officers shot in my 10 years prosecutor in this community. This is the first death we've had here.
Ford's criminal history goes back more than 2 decades. When he was 26, WRTV Investigates learned Ford shot at police officers in Indianapolis. He was convicted of that in 2007 and sentenced to 25 years. Now, according to the Indiana Department of Correction, he was released from prison and sent to a transition program.
How many years was he sentenced to? Let's listen to that again.
It's 15 years myself.
More than 2 decades. When Ford's criminal history goes back more than 2 decades. When he was 26, WRTV Investigates learned Ford shot at police officers in Indianapolis. He was convicted of that in 2007 and sentenced to 25 years.
2007, 25 years. 2007, 10 years. That's 2017. Another 10 years. That's what? 2027, right? He was convicted of 20. So we're talking about he wasn't supposed to see the light of day for a long time. Why'd he get out so early? They said that it was a halfway house. They were going to work with him. This is what happens when you let criminals back out on the street.
Now, according to the Indiana Department of Correction, he was released from prison and sent to a transition program in April of 2019. Ford's then completed parole last August. We've also learned from documents Ford was diagnosed in the early 2000s with bipolar disorder during a 2008.
That's the problem. Bipolar. It had nothing to do with him being an Israelite. It had nothing to do with him being a Christian. It had nothing to do with him being a so-called black man. It had everything to do with his mental condition. Bipolar. Let's look up bipolar. And I'm going to close it. I don't got it. This is the reason Vocab should have said bipolar man goes crazy, shoots another cop. Bipolar. Bipolar. Bipolar.
According to Mayo Clinic, the disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs.
Y'all heard that, right? A mental disorder. He was bruised in the brain, a mental disorder that causes unusual shifts in mood, energy, activity levels, concentrations, and the ability to carry out day-to-day tasks. So he had mood swings. And at one time he's calm, he's cool. Next minute he wanted to kill somebody. So this is why he, did what he did 2 times to police officers because the man was crazy. Man had a mental order. It had nothing to do with him being an Israelite. Okay, so now let's do this. I'm gonna get ready to close it. I want to give you a couple of precepts. But we really can't use anything because the man was crazy. He wasn't in his right mind. It had nothing to do with him being an Israelite. Because Vocab is saying, see, this is what happens when you join the wacky Israelites. You can start shooting people. No, he suffered he was bruised in the brain. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. Let me try this. A Wounded Heart Bible. Let me see where it is. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. Scripture speaks about a wounded heart, which I can't find right now. Bear with me. Please bear with me. Let me try it this way. Let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. That's not it. That's 23. This is what I hate. That's not it. Let me try this. The scriptures speak about a wounded heart. Something like who can bear it. Somebody can put it in the comment section. Anyway, let's go over here. Just want to go through some comments and I'll close it. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Let me go to GMS Apostles Street Ministry. Just to go through some comments, see if there's any questions that could be answered. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just trying to find some comments here. This is a place to ask questions. Okay, let me see what this man says. Yariel Yisrael, he's not a one Wester. If these men are truly apostle, prophets, teachers, evangelists, and pastors, they will have no problem answering the following. Who wrote the book of Genesis? Now, Moses supposedly wrote it. It was received to him, but Deuteronomy records his death. So it had to be scribes that wrote it down, like Baruch was a scribe, the understudy of Jeremiah. So it doesn't say who actually scribed it. The fact that the death of Moses was recorded, it's obvious that Moses didn't write that. Who wrote the book of Genesis? If they answer correctly, if Genesis 1:1 in the beginning, they will be able to tell you three things in the beginning of what. I'm not going to do all this. Who said so? Look at all this. When you have a person that gives you all this information here, they would know the mystery of the gospel, which is the Messiah in you. Okay, yeah, the Messiah is in us through the book. Therefore, you don't exist like you thought you did. Yeah, I agree with that. You become a new creature. They would know. They would now know. Now they would now down. Maybe it's bow down and repent of this sin that is so easily beset men. They would know that Joshua, Moses' minister, was Yahshua, and that the astral projected himself up in Mount Sinai. This boy, which they can't. This is what we got to deal with, which they can't even begin to explain because they have not believed our report. They perish because they are not seeing a divine vision come to class. The Institute of Divine Mystical Research. Oh my goodness. Let's look this up. I'm just having a little fun here, seeing where this is going to take me. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm not going to read anymore. So let's look at some of the replies. Laugh out loud. You do videos on this since you have so much time on you to type a book. Teach us, Mr. I Know It All. We don't take the guy seriously. It responds back. This so you can review and research. You own your own proud spirit. Go to class or be the five foolish virgins. Okay, with the five foolish virgins. Oh boy. Okay, buddy. Do a video, buddy. Laugh out loud. There's him coming back. Videos mean nothing. Who are you doing, or how are you doing? Live. How are you doing? Live for one you meet them face to face. But these are vids on my page that will help you. So you can't take this guy seriously. But anyway, this is his institution. Oh boy. Wait a minute. Nothing comes up. Final warning, members of IDMR, Institute Divine Mystical Research, split from headquarters now. Institute of Divine Mystical Research Gospel Choir. Institute of Divine Mystical Research Gospel Choir. The Institute of Divine Mystical Research. So this guy is telling us to come and follow him so we can learn the true truth. Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Good evening. My name is Sean Hudgenwood, and I will be your moderator for this evening's class. Welcome to the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. This is a school, and it is not a church. Neither are we affiliated with any religious organization. This school is a nonprofit, non-denominational, religious and scientific research organization dedicated to showing proof of the existence of Yahweh, our Elohim, and the operation of his eternal purpose.
He said Yahweh. The first time I heard Yahweh is by the white man. That's what the white man, if white man finally figured out, these patriots and so forth. The true name of the Lord is Yahweh. So I'm not going to follow you. You got to be out your damn mind. Anyway, let's come back. I'm sorry. I wanted to get some real comments here. Trying to get some real comments here. Just so I can build upon it. D. Dawkins, all praises Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. The Spirit has never gave the church, Christian church, anything, but one West was given the 12 tribes chart. What tribe is Abba Bivens from? He would be considered the tribe of Judah. Yeah, Frederick Price, yeah, he know where the Igbo tribes, we are Hebrews, that's us. So come on, go ahead, hit the button. We trying to get the hell up out of here. Click, I'm gonna go to a couple more comments, then I'll close. Let me see. Let me go ahead to Geno Jennings. He follows the Israelites. Let me try one more. Bear with me for a minute. Let me do this one real quick. Let me look at the comments. No real questions. Somebody put in, which is a new song by, yeah, I believe his name is Yashawan out of the West Coast. Makes good videos. 1 Kings 9, verse 26, and King Solomon made a navy of ships, and Ezon Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. Yeah, because I did another video. Let me come back here. James Adair, History of the American Indians. Let me go to that. This proves that the people on this side of the world that the so-called white man encountered were Israelites. And Columbus knew to bring a Hebrew interpreter. Christopher Columbus used Second Ezra book. And that's a scene from it. He was a crypto small hat. Looking for questions, no questions. So anyway, I'm gonna say shalom.